Henry is a big green engine. Much like Gordon, he may often seem grumpy, but he has a soft spot for nature, particularly a forest he sometimes passes through. The other engines call it Henry's Forest, as he always seems so at peace there. He's not quite sure why, but his driver understands. In the winter, when the leaves are gone, it always makes Henry a bit sad, but he finds comfort in knowing that the leaves will one day return in the summer. However, one night, in the cold weather, a storm started brewing. The harsh wind left the cement works unsafe to stay in that night, so Fergus, Bill, and Ben were braving their way through the snow to find a spot to rest. The snow came down harder the longer they were out, until they puffed by a town. To their surprise, it was completely dark. A guard standing out in the snow waved the three little engines down. "We've got no power!" shouted the panicked guard. Fergus's driver stepped out of his cab.
"We can use Fergus's flywheel, although I'm not sure how long it'll last,"
the driver offered, although a bit concerned.
"Oh, Bill and Ben can go get some help,"
the driver added. Bill and Ben set off to get help and arrived at Tidmouth Sheds, where all the engines were asleep except for Henry. "Henry! Henry!" the twins panted. "There's trouble at Cronk! We need help!"
"What are you two on about?"
"They've lost power in the snow! They'll all freeze if we don't help them!" Henry knew the twins were serious. Bill and Ben's driver and fireman helped get Henry snowplow fitted. They soon set off, and when they arrived at Cronk, Donald and Douglas were waiting there, clearing snow from the line.
"Oh, thank goodness you're here, Henry," Fergus sighed in relief. "I can't power this whole town by myself."
The guard looked at Henry.
"Can you get us some firewood?"
the guard asked. Donald and Douglas looked at Henry and grimaced. Henry was moved on a separate line, out of the way of Donald and Douglas. He knew what he had to do, and he didn't like it.
"Hi, come on, Dougie. Come on, Big Green."
Donald peeped as he set off back into the snow, with a coach for workmen and plenty of flatbeds behind him. Douglas followed suit with even more. The realization hit Henry only then. This was happening. Henry reluctantly followed. When they arrived at the forest, Henry gazed upon all the trees. The workmen stepped out and prepared their tools as Henry shut his eyes.
"I can't watch!"
Donald felt terrible.
"Hi, Big Green,"
Donald called out.
"If you love something, you gotta let it go."
Donald tried to console. Henry sniffed.
"All these trees will make nice firewood and keep everyone warm for Christmas,"
Douglas added.
"And you letting them do this makes you a very strong engine," he continued. "Aye, it's really useful too,"
Donald finished. This made Henry feel better. After all the flatbeds were loaded with logs, Henry pulled from the front, and the twins pushed from the back. Henry thought about what Donald and Douglas had said. They were right. He felt so much better knowing that this was to help people in need, and that even after the trees were gone, they would be put to good use, making other people happy. And as the trio returned to Cronk, they were greeted to a warm welcome from the villagers. Terrence the tractor brought the firewood to the villagers, and everyone was pleased as the fires lit and they huddled up near the flames. By the time Henry reached the sheds, the sun was already starting to rise. He closed his eyes and fell asleep instantly. The next morning, when he woke up, he was greeted to a crowd, the twins, and Fergus on the turntable. As Henry came to his senses, Fergus smiled at him. "What's going on?" Henry thought as he looked at many of the townsfolk from Kronk. A man approached Henry with a framed photo and passed it to Henry's driver. His driver examined the photo. It was a photo of Henry. Under the photo was an engraved Henry the Christmas Hero. He showed it to Henry, and Henry smiled. He thought that, even though he lost some of his forest, this made a sacrifice all worth it. Don't you?